Well, good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from beautiful San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. I hope you guys are fired up and ready for this fantastic Friday. This subject this morning comes from an incredible husband and wife team, Michael and Paula Godinez, here in the office. And we were talking a little bit about this morning. And here's the subject. It's living up to your potential. And more clearly, not what you think your potential is, but your actual God-given potential. And let me tell you, there's a gap. There's a significant gap in most cases, because the things we were gifted with in our brain to keep us from going berserk and to keep us safe can be the very things that hinder us from actually moving forward and progressing with all of our potential, who we were capable of becoming. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. The brain is wired so intricately that self-preservation is a very important and critical component of the human brain without having to think about it. It's the body's ability to react to senses around it. Great example of this is if you're a woman and you've been curling your hair and you've accidentally touched your scalp or your neck with it, you get burned, you immediately have a reaction. Or if you've been cooking on the stove and you've touched something hot that you didn't realize was hot, you don't have to say, oh my gosh, this is really hot. Wow, this is burning my hand. This sucks. I think I'm gonna have to let my hand loose. Okay, cool, I'm not burning anymore. You don't even think about it. You basically, immediately, the body reacts, it knows what to do to pull you away from danger. Well, that system that's designed to self-preserve and to protect you can be a huge hindrance to you fulfilling your God-given potential. Not what you think your potential is, but your God-given potential. And here's the reason why. Is because the signals that your brain and your senses pick up when you are moving towards failure, or when you are imagining failure, or when you are imagining things not working out, or you are imagining the negative consequences of actions that you have not yet taken. We talk about it in coaching as paying interest on a Ferrari you may never own. The Ferrari is this big thing that you're concerned or worried about, where you're paying interest and you're making payments on it and you don't even get the car. You're paying interest and payments on something you may never have when you are walking in a fear that prohibits you from experiencing what would actually happen if you took action. You're missing out on it. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward in many cases. So this self-preservation system in the body that automatically has your hand open up and release something hot, that same system in the body will trick you into staying below your capability and your potential. And here's why. Because the signals that your body gets, palms sweaty, knees weak, arms heavy, spaghetti on your sweater already, you guys will get that later on, but the heart pounding, shortness of breath, things that begin to concern you as you are imagining, by the way, something that hasn't even happened. Something that hasn't even happened. This fear, I broke it down this week in group coaching as my interpretation of fear is they are feelings. Feelings experienced aside from reality. They're just feelings experienced aside from reality. The thing you fear hasn't even manifested. It's not even there. It's not even a part of it, but you're feeling the feelings as if it's already happening. And those feelings and those imaginations create failure scenarios in your mind, which cause your body to react. And the body's natural reaction is, whoa, that's hot. That's hot. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. Well, you know, it's hot because that's your freaking future. That's your dream. That's your goal. That's the thing that God put in your heart. And if you could accomplish it yourself and you don't need him, it's probably not from him. That's why it's so big, because there's a partnership. He will not do your part. You cannot do his part. And yet you've got to do your part. And apart from accountability and high-level relationships from people who are willing to take a stand and challenge you on your current level of comfort. If you are not in a group that causes you to grow, you are shrinking back. There is no pause You are either going onward and upward, or you are going backward and downward. There is no medium ground. There is no pause. There is no neutral ground. There's no Switzerland. I'm sorry. In this battle, you are either taking territory or you are territory that is being taken. And so in this game, you are either playing to win or playing not to lose. And one thing is for sure, all of the players that you see playing at the highest level have one thing in common, whether it's a pianist, whether it's an opera singer, whether it is a football player, whether it's a basketball player or a baseball player, whether it's a swimmer, whether it's a ping pong player. The highest performers in the world have one thing in common. They have incredible accountability, being in relationship with somebody who is seeing the potential in them that they can't see in themselves, and they are drawing that out. A title some give is coach. But you see, that is uncomfortable. See, the coach is the one who will tell you, don't let go of that handle. I know you think it's hot, and I know it's not going to burn you. It's going to cause you to press through to the next level. And there's a push, and there's a challenge. You don't hear coaches going, did those sit-ups hurt? Oh, just stop for a second. Just stop. I don't want you to get sore. No, they don't. They push. They encourage, they motivate, they inspire, they expect more because they know you are capable of more. So living to your full potential is tricky business when you are left to your own devices and left to yourself, because you will give yourself a break. It is easier to let yourself down than it is to let somebody else down. And so most people are in the habit of letting themselves down and not actually even pushing past, because when they get to discomfort, that thing in the brain that says danger, danger, activates, and you have not yet learned the discipline or built the habit or the commitment of recognizing it as that, nuh-uh, this ain't a life or death thing. This is just the natural reaction my body's having to me stepping into unfamiliar territory. How do I know that I cannot do that unless I do that? And oh, by the way, I'm going to reinterpret failure. So reinterpreting failure is another key factor in someone realizing their potential. Failure, Zig Ziglar says, is an event. It's not a person. And most people think that if I fail, I'm a failure. No, failure is simply just feedback that you're getting. Failure just says, hey buddy, that didn't work. Let's try it this way. Except now you're trying it more intelligently. Now you're trying it with wisdom. Now you're trying it with experience. Now you're trying it with, okay, that didn't work. Maybe this will work. And you keep moving forward. So living up to your full potential is just about impossible if you are not surrounded with people who can see more in you than you see in yourself. Because see, get this is a big deal. Not every thought you have is your own. Not every thought you have is your own. In fact, you were programmed from the time you were born to think and believe and experience life in a certain way by your parents, by your caregivers, by people who had influence on you, and believe it or not, by folks who spend billions of dollars a year to get into here. They're called advertisers, marketing. Billions of dollars a year is spent to go, but Tide is the only one that really works. I know that has the exact same ingredients as Tide, but it's not Tide. It ain't orange, and it don't have the little wave. Nope, Tide's the... They spend billions of dollars a year to get in your head and tell you a story and give you a narrative to cause you to believe a certain way about a certain product. And guess what? You have 24/7 access to this for free. Your ability to manage and lead your thought life and to reinterpret failure is a key factor in you being able to fulfill your full potential. And it'll never be fulfilled on your own because you have these self-imposed limitations. That's why being in relationship with people who see more in you than you see in yourself is a key factor. I was talking to a dear friend today, multi-million-dollar business owner that's coming on as a Voice of One coach for our business coaching division, and we were discussing, the Rolex and the big car and the fancy house is no longer the status symbol of this age. It's a man or a woman who is committed to their personal growth and personal development. Because any sucker can write a check for something. But to work on you and do the heavy lifting and challenge those limiting beliefs and pursue growth and pursue development It's tough business. It's the heavy lifting. And as a person is willing to commit to that, here's what I want to wrap this conversation up with. Your personal growth and personal development isn't even really about you being self-actualized and being woke and enlightened. It's about you manifesting the possibilities that God deposited in you because he put you in relationship with a certain number of people who are waiting for you to wake up and put your foot on the gas and not let go, so that you inspire, encourage, motivate, and lead others into their full potential. You see, it's not even about you. It's not even about you. You gotta give God something to work with. You put as much work into yourself as you possibly can, and here's what begins to change immediately. Your subconscious, the way you see yourself, and the way you love yourself. Most people just don't love themselves. They don't, because in your subconscious mind, they know that you are giving it half effort in this life, and you're not really living up to your full potential, and there's a little guilt around the fact that I know there's more in me. I just can't, I'm just too busy, or I just don't know what to do, but I know there's more in me. Everybody knows there's more in them available. But void of the right relationships, that's never going to be unlocked. And that potential, those books that could have been written, those businesses that could have been started, those foundations that could have come to life, go to the grave with the person who never pushed themselves past that point of discomfort. That requires relationship. That requires accountability. So, do you really want to live up to your full potential? If you really want to live up to your full potential, you're going to need to get in a strategic relationship with someone who can help pull that out of you so that you can be everything you were created to be, allowing you to do things you never thought you could do, and ultimately have things you never believed you could have, so that you circle back to being able to give like you've never been able to give before, whether that be finances, whether that be time, whether that be the hard-earned lessons and wisdoms that have come from your busted knees and mistakes along the way. It's all about you becoming all you were created to be. Do you know how tall will a tree grow? You know how tall a tree will grow? As tall as it can grow. How long will a vine grow? It'll grow as long as it can grow. Man is the only living creature that has the God-given gift and curse of being able to say, I'm done growing, that's it. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Granddaddy was like that, daddy was like that, and I'm like that. My boy's gonna be like that. That's just the way it is. Man is the only living being that can say, I'm done growing. What a slap in the face of your creator to leave so much amazing stuff on the table because you're unwilling to push past that discomfort. If you're not willing to do it for you, do it for the people around you. Because as you rise, everybody connected to you is going to rise as well. I hope today that you consider, if there's more inside you, you'll DM, you'll reach out to me and you'll say, Steve, I want to learn a little bit more about this. We're building an army of some of the most strategic and powerful coaches, relationships I'm so proud of. We've got 25 coming on board by the end of this month. And so if you need help, reach out to me, private message me, and we'll set up a one-on-one consultation and see if we can help you see yourself as big as we know God sees you, so that you can be, do, and have to ultimately give more than you ever have before. Have a great weekend, guys.